MiniWarGaming's Beat Map Batrep!
Welcome back. We're going into Kador turn 2, so this is where I have to do some damage. So I maintain sidearms just because the extra defense is nice. I hand out 3 focus to the Conquest, and I think that's it. I don't think I give the focus to anybody else, but we'll see. And so the Spriggan moves up. He does his targeting flares. What that basically does is it helps ignore stealth and all the other stuff. And these guys are stealthed, and so that's just their normal ability. So then he's going to move up and try to do some damage. First shot at the Deathjack, I'm going to boost it because I want a critical, because the critical will blow him back, and I miss altogether, which really sucks. And it scatters a little bit and nicks his Deathjack. It's dice minus 11 and nothing happens. Then he takes a secondary shot at the Bane Thrall, and he does hit him, and he does wound him, but he makes his tough. And I put that on the wrong one. So he's knocked down, but I shoot him again, and I hit him, needed in 3s there, and I damage him, and he fails his tough. So his secondary gun kills 1 single Bane Thrall. And then he's going to drop down his, basically his barrage, where if you advance or end your activation in the AoE, you take a POW 6, unboostable POW 6 damage roll. The Colden Lord moves up and power boosts the Juggernaut, giving him a focus, and he runs up in front because I want basically his Deathjack to charge the Juggernaut, because he'll kill the Juggernaut quite easily, and then I'll be able to kill the Deathjack, and that's a nice trade. A 7-point Jack for a 12-point, definitely like that. And if he ignores the Juggernaut, well, then the Juggernaut can do a whole lot of damage. So that's a nice typical strategy that you can use with your Kador to kind of feed one of your Jacks. Now the only problem in this list is that I only really have 1 Jack to feed. I'd prefer to have 2, maybe even 3 that I can kind of throw out front and distract him with, but in this case I only have the Juggernaut. All the Turnians are moving up and once again putting down their cloud effects. Cryx turn 2, he's going to allocate 3 focus to the Deathjack and 3 to the Kraken, and then the Deathjack, of course, gets 2 more focus for having his 2 arms still active, which means he's got 5 focus on him. That's like, he might as well be like a troll for being able to do as many attacks as he's able to do. And then he's moving his Warwitch Siren up into position. Does walk into that POW 6 thing, but I need 6s to, it's dice minus 6, so no damage. And I'd have to roll like an 11 to kill him. Then he's going to put Parasite on the Juggernaut. That's minus 3 armor. And he's able to use one of the spells from Denegra. And so that's why he was able to do that. So minus 3 armor on the Juggernaut. So he's now armor 17. Then Denegra decides to move up. He's moving very carefully because he has to get outside of the 14-inch kill box. But at the same time, he doesn't want to get into a position where he dies. And then he feats. And Denegra's feat is nasty. Basically, everybody in the control area get minus 2 speed, defense, armor, mat, everything pretty much goes down by 2, including focus. Now, thankfully, Karchev was outside of that when it went off. It's only when it goes off that you determine it. It's not if you enter it. But still, the Juggernaut now is at minus 5 armor, and then another minus 2 because of the Dark Shroud from the Bane Thrall. So his armor is 13. He's worse than a light Warjack. So the Bane Thrall goes in there with his Weapon Master charge attack and takes out half of his boxes. So he basically wants to kill the Juggernaut so that the Deathjack can charge my Colossal, because he thinks the Deathjack with 5 focus can kill the Colossal in 1 turn. And he's probably right. The Bile Thrall moves through the POW 6 and doesn't take any damage. And then he sprays into the Juggernaut, and he misses, which sucks for him. And the second one sprays into the Juggernaut, also hits the Colossal, which is not too big a deal. So first against the Juggernaut, he hits, and it'll be dice minus 1, because it's only armor 13. And so he does 7 damage to my 4. Have you ever seen Bile Thralls do that much damage to a heavy Kador Warjack? I sure haven't. And then he hits the Colossal as well. It's dice minus 6, only does 1 damage. Colossal is still at pretty high armor at 18 there. And then they have ongoing corrosion, so they'll continue taking 1 point of damage every turn. The other Bile Thrall over here explodes himself. He actually wanted to kill this guy because he'd be in the way of the Deathjack. And then he hits the Juggernaut automatically. So basically the Bile Thralls can sacrifice himself to hit everything within 6 inches for POW 12, and almost kills the Juggernaut just with that. So he was even thinking of using that Kraken to finish off the Juggernaut, but it looks like just with shooting, although that one POW Weapon Master from the Bane Thrall did it too, he's really able to do a lot of damage to the Juggernaut. So he moves up and he does a spray attack and he hits. He had to roll anything but double ones, and it's dice minus 3, so he does 3 damage. I had 4 left, so So he had 1 box left. So at least he's taking like the entire army's worth of shots to die. Then his Bonejack moves up, and he has a single shot that he's going to take. Now he is in melee, but he's only defense 8 normally, so 12. So he needs 7s to hit, and he misses. So he might hit the Bane Thrall instead. He needs 11 to hit him, though. He's a higher defense, and he misses as well. So the Kraken's going to do the remainder of the job. He's going to move up, but he doesn't have to get into base, or he doesn't have to get into melee. All he has to do is shoot him. Now, once again, defense 12 being 8. And he gets D3 plus 1 attacks, and he's going to boost it, so he needs 7s to hit, and he gets an 8, so he hits it, and that kills the Juggernaut. Replacing him with a wreck marker, though, which means the Deathjack will not be able to get to the Colossal. He forgot about the wreck marker. So he takes his second shot with the Kraken, and he hits. It was dice -4, so he only managed to do 4 damage to the Colossal, but he'll take another shot at him as well. And he hits with that, and he's going to boost the damage. It's dice -6, and it gets a nice healthy 10 damage to his 6. But on the Colossal, it's still not enough to disable any of his systems, thankfully. The Deathjack is then just going to move up slightly, and he's going to cast, he's able to cast spells from Denegra. So he casts Crippling Grasp on them, which basically makes them minus speed, so they're not going to be able to charge. It also gives them minus defense and armor and all that too. So really sucks. End of round 2, he's basically shut down most of my army. My left flank is still alive and healthy. He's killed my Juggernaut without trading. See, I was hoping that his Deathjack would now be where the Juggernaut is so that my Colossal could kill him. But now the Colossal is only at speed 2, and he's not able to charge because that's part of Denegra's feat, which really sucks. So find out what happens in the next turn by clicking on the annotation or the link below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and